Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a tutorial, or just kind of I guess showing you guys how I'm going to make a traditional Breyer horse trailer. I've noticed online that these trailers or like the trucking trailer set, they're like super expensive. So I'm gonna try to DIY my own today. We're gonna see how it goes. This is more of just like trial and error as we go than like a tutorial, but nonetheless I hope you guys learn something, maybe spark some of your own ideas for what you can do to make your own trailer. So I've just kind of laid out what you need here, and first thing is a model that's on a pretty average size mold. So this model's on the Lady Phase mold, which is pretty like not too big, not too small. So hopefully it'll fit most models. And then here I have a reference picture. I just looked it up on images. I also just have some basic supplies. I have a ruler, a pen, scissors, hot glue gun with some extra hot glue, just some like skewers, some air dry clay, and then that's just like a little tool for the clay, but really you could use like a plastic fork or knife or something. That'll work too. It's just to like cut it out. This is old-fashioned oats. No, is a container that's circular that I'm gonna use for the front of the trailer. If you see in this picture, the front kind of is a little bit curved, so I can't do that with like normal cardboard. I'm gonna need some sort of curved piece, so that's what I'm gonna use this for. And then I have my cardboard. So this is the box, which I thought would be approximately good size. I'm making a trailer for only one horse, so it is going to be pretty skinny. But yeah, the horse, I did test this out before I started, can fit in it with a little space. So this is going to be kind of the size I'm basing it off of. If you don't have a box, you could just use some extra cardboard that you have and glue it into the shape of the box too. That'll work. And then this is just a little container for the paint. And I have some paint here. I'm using black and then like a silver like brushed metal. And then a couple paint brushes. And that's all you're gonna need. I might add more later. We'll see. But for now, this is what I suspect we're going to need to make, or at least resemble, a trailer. So let's get started. So first thing you're definitely going to want to do is plug in your hot glue gun. So the first thing you're going to want to do here is get your box and place your horse inside. Now you want it to be just big enough to fit the whole horse. So luckily here my box is just about perfect. And okay, kind of see we have enough room. I think the nose is a little bit over, but we will have like a big window in the back, so we won't have to worry about that too much. And then after I've done that, I'm just gonna cut out the front of the trailer here. So I'm gonna cut along these lines. Okay, so once you've kind of roughly cut out the front of your box, you're going to want to start fitting your circular container to this box. So I just removed the top. I've already washed out the inside, so there's no oat debris. And then I'm kind of going to measure this out with the box. So once again, whatever you're using is going to be different. Luckily mine are pretty close in size. But the box is a little bit bigger, which is not perfectly ideal, but we're going to see if this is going to work. So I'm going to cut the box straight in half, okay? And then we're going to resize again, and we're going to see if we're going to have to make this box a little skinnier or if it's going to work. So this would be a lot easier with an X-Acto knife. Keep that in mind. Okay, so I cut it in, sorry, you can't really see very well. So I cut it in half, and so I think it is gonna work pretty okay. Kind of see what that looks like there. And I'm just gonna glue this straight on, just like this. Sorry, it's kind of hard to show you and film at the same time. But yeah, another thing that I haven't really thought about yet is the height. So I'm gonna get my model back out again and kind of look at the height here. So this isn't gonna be quite tall enough on its own because we obviously need like a roof as well. So I'm gonna have to extend it somehow a little bit taller. So that's where this other side is gonna come in. I'm just going to cut the rim off so it's nice and flat here, and then I'm going to cut the rim off of the other one. So that we can glue them together here and make it a little bit taller. Okay, so I glued this piece together and I cut off this top part to make it, I think, just about 10 inches here. So that's the height I decided. And once again, to do that, I just stuck my model into the trailer and I kind of measured right up until a little bit above their ears. So that's the height I decided, 10 inches if you're wondering. And yes, I also cut out the back, so it's like a little swingy door now. So to do that, I just cut off the flap up here and then cut down this side and the bottom. And the last thing I did while I was gone there was just reinforce this middle seam with some hot glue. So now that I've done all that, I'm gonna begin cutting out some more like excess cardboard. So this is something I didn't mention in the beginning, but you're gonna need some more sheets of cardboard here, and I'm just gonna measure them up so that they're also 10 inches just to build up the walls a bit. And so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna glue on the front as well, like that, and I'll be right back. So I'm going to take a break from doing the trailer for a second just to do the wheels, and I probably should have started with this since it is air dry clay and it'll take a little bit to dry. But what I basically did, which I did off camera since it was like super messy, was cut out 4 little circles of air dry clay, and I just did that by flattening some out and then punching them out with this cap. And then also I just did 4 little like smaller circles, and these are just going to be the nubs at the end so that the wheels don't slide off. But basically now what I want to do is poke a hole in the middle of each of the circles and then basically move it around a bit so that it's a little bit bigger than the actual rod that we're going to use for the wheels, which is this. So yeah, use the rod that you're going to use to hold on the wheels, like the wooden dowel or skewer or whatever, and then poke the hole and then move it around so it's a little bit bigger, so it can actually like spin around when we put it on. So obviously do this while it's still wet and not dry. Okay, so I finished poking the holes in the wheels, and I just set up this little fan to blow on them. Since I'm using air dry clay, you could also just use normal clay. But since I'm using air dry clay and I want them to dry quickly, I just put a little fan there. And also, I finished up the side walls here. I forgot to do it on this side, but on this side I put these little windows that you see on a lot of horse trailers. They have the little skinning windows on the side. I didn't add any in the front, but if you had like an X-Acto knife, you could for sure do that. And what I'm thinking about doing next is, if you look on the trailer, they have the little wheels in the back, right? And how I think I'm going to do this is I'm going to cut 2 little slits, one on either side, and then push that part up so it's at an angle, and then cut off these sides and then add the wheels right there. And I think I can do that because I've tried a couple models in here and there is like a lot of space from the top. So I think if I incline the bottom a little bit for the wheels and then put another flat flooring, like a little level up, that there'll still be space because I have some extra space here. I'm going to do that now, and we're going to see what we can do. And these have been going for a while, so they're nice and dry already, which is very nice. Alright. Alright, so I cut the little slits and I pushed this guy up. And now I'm just going to measure to see if I can fit in both my wheels. So I've just grabbed 2 of the wheels here. And I'm just going to measure to make sure that they fit. And I think I'm going to have to cut a little bit more so there's enough room. Okay, so I think now for sure there'll be room for the wheels, which is very good. So now there's room for both of the wheels, so I'm just gonna draw a line here and then cut out this portion. I don't know how I'm gonna do this with the door. We're gonna figure it out. I'll be right back. So what I basically ended up doing is I did cut at an angle here, a pretty steep angle, and I glued down that part that was already there, that like I cut, to this, but then I left a little bit and glued down another piece of cardboard that matched up with the length of the front of the trailer. So it created a sort of like ramp. So the horse, sorry, my cord is there. So the horse can get on, but then when the trailer's going, it can get pushed back up. And I think I'm gonna add like a little chain or something, some sort of mechanism, there you go, that will hold it together. Because right now it just kind of flies open. I'm also debating on whether to leave the inside like this or raise the floor as well. I'm not sure. And then I also forgot to mention I added this little pole just because the sides were kind of, they still do a little bit, but they were going like out towards the top, because cardboard will do that. So I added this little pole just to keep it nice and close and as straight as possible. It's not perfect, but yeah. So I think next I'm going to add the top, and how I'm doing that is I still have this little stub from what I cut off here, and I'm going to cut out this part, there you go, to put there, just this top D shape though. And then I have this strip of cardboard, which isn't exactly the nicest cardboard, but I can't find anything else, to put on the top. So we're gonna do that. I also might add in like a small little door like this somehow. I'm not sure though, or I might just add a chain. But you should probably have a door on the back of your trailer, not just a chain. So yeah, I'll probably try to add in a door. I don't know. I'm going to have to make a hinge somehow too, which I've not thought of how I'm going to do yet. But I'm going to do that. I'll see if I add in a floor. If I do, I'll show you guys. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished gluing on the roof, and sorry if the lighting's changed. The sun is setting, so it's getting a little darker in here. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this whole thing silver. So I'm just using this like brushed metal acrylic paint. And then I think I'm going to paint this bottom part black though, just to give it a little variation. And then I'll do some details in black, but I'll update you guys once I'm done So I apologize that the lighting has changed again. I just wanted to show you guys that I have done the first coat of the silver metallic paint. And I also painted those little tiny clay circles black, and then the little wheels the same silver as the trailer. And what I think I'm going to do with the wheels to make the tires is I'm going to use black hair ties, and I'm going to cut them and put them around the wheels. I don't know how this is going to look, but I have some hair ties here, so I might try to do that. Just kind of cut them up and hot glue them on there. I think that might make them look a little more realistic. And as far as the trailer, I'm going to do the second coat of paint. Okay, so I finished all the paint. Nice solid silver color. I also added these little corner pieces. I just cut out 2 little triangles and I painted them the same color as well, just to give a little more detail. And I also tried the hair tie on the little wheels, and I think it looks okay. I mean, it's not great, but if you look at it like from here, I think it'll be pretty good. And I'm also trying to figure out how I'm going to connect the wheels. So I know I'm going to do 2 bamboo skewers, or wooden dowels, whatever you have. And basically, sorry, it's a little hard to do with one hand. Go like that, and then they can spin around and connect it like this. But I'm trying to figure out, maybe I can just glue the dowel straight on like this. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. That'll be pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna do 2 of those, 2 wooden dowels, because I have 4 wheels. I think I'm going to paint them black. So I gotta finish the rest of the wheels. And if you're wondering how these are gonna come into play, these are gonna be glued on the end of each dowel, just so the wheel doesn't fall off. So I did some painting. I did paint the bottom black, like I told you guys, and I also glued on this skewer here so I could connect the wheels, and I just kind of slid the wheels onto the skewer there. They're not secured yet, but I'll do that in a moment. I also painted the inside, so I did the walls white. That back wall is already white, so I just left it. And then also the bottom all black as well. Yeah, and oh, I did just a little bit of a black detail around the windows. So my next step is to connect the door, which, oh yeah, I painted all these black too. So I have a little just rectangle of cardboard that I painted black that I'm gonna connect like this. And I think how I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do the hinges as like tiny little pieces of leather and just kind of glue one side onto the door and one side on to the side of the trailer here. And then I also painted 3 popsicle sticks black, and I cut off the ends, which I think I'm just going to add like a little detail on here. So I'll line all 3 of them up so they're almost like little steps or like little grips or something. And then also here's the skewer I painted black, which is going to make the little windows here have some bars. So I'll do like maybe 3 on each window and just like kind of cut them to size and glue them in there. So that's my next step, and then after that we might be done. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We have to secure the wheels. So that's what I did these little circles of clay for. I'm just going to glue them right onto here so that the wheels don't like fall off. They stay on. They can still spin around. They're pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to do that. My camera's dying, so I don't think I can film that. I'm going to charge it up while I do a couple of those things, and then I'll update you guys again. But we're getting pretty close. Looking pretty good. Okay guys, I think it's finally done. So like I said, I glued on the little stoppers at the end. I glued on those popsicle sticks. I glued on a little door. And I did use the little leather lace as the hinges. And finally, I glued on the little posts in the windows, and I think it looks really good. I especially like the windows. I think they're so cute. A few things. You could definitely make a little latch for the door if you don't want it just to be like swinging. And or a latch for this bottom part too, which once again here, I'll put the camera down so I can show you a little bit better. But you can make a latch that holds up this part and this together so that you can actually have like the trailer closed as if it was on the go somewhere. But since my trailer will just be sitting here, that's not super important to me. Maybe I'll add that in the future. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This is, at the end of the day, still a cardboard box, so it's not perfect. It doesn't look like absolutely amazing, you know, but I do think it is some sort of a substitute if you do want just a little trailer in your barn and you don't want to pay a ton of money or whatever the reason is, you want to customize it yourself. But yeah, I think it's super fun. It'd be fun to add like a barn name on the side of it, which I think I'm gonna do. I'm thinking maybe to do it with like stamps, like stamp on letters and put like Peppermint Ridge Stables. I think that'd be super cool. But yeah, it was a really fun project, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and let me know if you guys make your own trailer in the comments. I'd love to see that. Also, you can maybe tag me on Instagram if you take a picture of it, which I'll leave my Instagram down below. I just made it, it's brand new. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!